thousandths of an inch of difference makes the cars, you know, pop or not run right. So when you're trying to tune one of these things in, this split shaft allows for a much better tunability because this can be adjusted separate than this. With a solid shaft, you can't adjust these separately because they're on the same shaft. Today we have got the Solex P40 II4s off of a 1968 912, and I just wanted to show you all the difference between what a split shaft carburetor is. So this is a 1968 or newer P40 compared to the 1967 and older, which has the solid shaft. Lots of people talk about how great the split shafts are for tunability. The one thing that we want to make sure of is that the split shaft has an idle circuit, a transition circuit, and a main circuit. It's able to do that with these 5 holes. So if you open the throttle up here, you can count 5 holes right next to each other right there. One's really, really small. 2 of them are about the same size, and then one's bigger, and then one's kind of in between. What all those are doing is those are all different air metering ports that are allowing the idle, transition phase, and main phase to happen. What that means is as the driver hits the throttle, so right now the throttle's closed, as they depress the throttle and you're at the idle phase right now, and then you get into the throttle, you continue to go through the idle phase, and then you get into the transition phase as you continue to depress the throttle. And what's happening is the throttle valve's opening down there. You might be able to see it. So there's just a couple snap throttles right there. And then the main phase. This allows for very good transition through the RPM range. So from your idle, your 700 RPM idle, all the way up to 6,000 RPM. It makes it very smooth. Here's your throttle shaft. It goes from here, well, on the solid shaft, it goes from here to here, from one side of the carburetor all the way over to the other. On this one, this is a split shaft, and they literally mean the shaft is split in half. It's split in half right here. So I'm gonna just take this feeler gauge and I'll show you. It goes all the way through there, right? So there's no shaft in the middle. It's literally a split shaft. So there's a separate shaft that operates this throttle valve, and there's a separate shaft that operates this throttle valve. They're connected in the middle with this connection point right here. Now what this does is it allows for the tuner to make individual adjustments for the throttle valve to be open or closed, and we're talking about thousandths of an inch of difference. They did come out in 1968. This is going on a 1965 912. They are interchangeable. So they came off of a 1965 912, and what we're doing is we're gonna send these out and they're gonna be remachined. What these carburetors are known for having an issue, I've got this carburetor upside down now, is that the surface of this carburetor, from this throat to this throat over here, it becomes warped just after these carburetors are 60 years old, just with all the heat that rises in cooling off periods. What happens is these warp, and what it'll do is it'll allow air to come in through wherever it's warped at. These carburetors are gonna get sent off. We're gonna have this surface machined flat again. We have 0 tolerance from this corner to this corner, from this corner to that corner, from this edge to that edge. This whole thing is going to be one straight tolerance. This will allow the carburetors to not pop or have any other kinds of issues, other than just getting plain old rebuilt. New gaskets, clean the jets, do all that stuff. So this is a walkthrough of the Solex 40 PII4s split shaft. And it's going to go back on the 65 912. It's going to run perfect.